Hi darlings, thank you so much for joining me on my channel today. And today I have a setup for you guys. So as you know, I am working through the This I Know Foundational Truths to Stand On by the Well for God devotional through the month of January. And so it has all of these beautiful arches in the artwork and doors, and I was inspired by the arches. Now, last month you guys saw me do a mini album, and I really enjoyed being able to keep everything in one place. And this month I want to do a entryway album type thing. I do not 100% know what I'm doing. I am kind of drawing inspiration from somebody I saw on YouTube. I will link that video below. And she did like a phone book, mini book. And she used die cuts, and that's how she made hers. But I do not have a die cutting machine, so I kind of made my own template, and I will be piggybacking off of some of the things I saw her do. So she inspired me, and I wanted to do just a bunch of entryways. So I will be doing 14 days of entryway door in this shape. This is going to be my template. This is just regular copy paper, you guys. What I did was I folded it in half, and then I kind of traced one side of an arch and then opened it up, and that is it. And I wanted to make sure that it fit within this 6x8 paper. The fact that this is 6x8, it really is going to help me with that archway. If it would have been 6x6, it wouldn't have been too small, and it would have been a really small booklet. So I love the 6x8. I already kind of had this idea in mind, but the fact that Lori did 6x8 paper pack this month kind of just helped it along. So I have a template for the actual door, and then a template for the hinge, and then I used a hole punch to do 2 holes, and then this is going to kind of glue onto this. The front will be my title page, and in the back I will be doing my journaling for each page. I will be doing 14 doors, and then I will put this on rings through those 2 holes. This is just a template for me to cut things out. I'm going to be using all the pretty paper in this pack to make the doors, and then I will be using these are just in my stash. They're also by the Well for God that are left over from previous kits to make the hinges. So I'm gonna put you on fast forward, and let's see how this turns out. Okay, so first I'm gonna go through all this 6x8 pattern paper, and I'm gonna pick out the colors I know I want to use in this mini album. So you're gonna need a hole punch, a pair of scissors, the pattern paper that you want to use, a trimmer, and the template. I also have some extra pattern paper just in case I need to use those for the hinge. So now that I have them all laid out, I'm just gonna do the same repetitive thing over and over. I know I need 16 of these, so I am going to grab a pen that I know is going to mark. So I'm using this Slick Writer pen because there's this glossy finish on this pattern paper. And I'm just gonna trace my template on here and fussy cut it out. So here I'm actually gonna move it to the corner because I realize I actually am throwing away a lot of extra paper that I could use. So you'll see how I'm going to trim down the excess so I can have some scrap paper for the hinge, or maybe for some extra things for my journaling. So I'm just gonna cut this off, and now I have some scrap paper for later on. I love this alcohol ink paper. I really wanted to hoard it, but I think it's better for me to use what I love in a project that I love, and I think I'm really gonna love this. So I went ahead and just decided to go in and use this pattern paper. No hoarding in 2021. Now that I have all my doors cut out, I'm actually going to focus on the hinges. So I'm going to use the scraps that I already have and the template so I can make hinges that will match each door for each day. So first I'm trying to figure out the size of the hinge, and I'm trying to see what scraps I can use in order to make this hinge. So I use my paper trimmer to cut down all the scraps to a nice even size. That way I can use them as hinges. And now I'll kind of start another order. I will pick a door, pick a scrap paper that matches, make a hinge, and place it to the right hand side. That way I know that each door has its own hinge. So now I'm just going to use the template. I'm going to line these up, and I am going to hole punch exactly on each one. Now, the reason why I'm using the template to put the hole punch and not just hole punching all willy-nilly is because I want to try to keep this as precise as possible. It's not going to be totally perfect, but if I have the same measurements then all the doors will line up nicely when I put them together on the ring. So here I'm going to start adhering my hinges to the doors. So I'm going to use the measurements along the bottom part of this glass media mat to kind of keep me in check that I'm adding the hinges at the right position for each door. First, I add a little bit of adhesive. I bring my door all the way down to that corner, and then I make sure that I am placing it on the same line that I did the template. On this one, I actually realized that I have a little bit of adhesive left over, so I have to add some washi, but I will fix that later. Just didn't want the adhesive to glue to the. So I'll check that the holes line up, and then I'll keep doing the same process. Again, assembly line. Bring it down all the way to the corner. Make sure that I'm lining it up exactly at an inch above the last line, and adhere. Now I have all my doors with hinges on, so I'm gonna go into my stash of rings and pull out the rings I want to use. This I got on Amazon. It comes with 45 of them, and it comes with sizes 1 inch, 1.5, 2 inch, 2.5, and 3, I believe. And I think it was maybe $13 for all of them. So now I'm just sliding these on the ring. And because I used a template for the hinges and I put the hinges at the same dimensions for each door, you'll see that they line up nicely. And here's just a small flip through so you can see how it turned out. That is it, darlings. That is my booklet. So I have 17 doors here. It is 14 days, 14 pages for the days of my devotional, and as well the front and the back, and then I'll have one extra day to do a prayer page. So yeah, that is it. I have my little template here that I can use if I wanted to add any extra pages. I have started off with the 1 inch rings because I think that'll be enough, but of course I always think it's enough and it gets super chunky. But that is my tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. If you are new here, I hope you consider subscribing, hit that like button so you don't miss any of my videos, and the notification bell as well. Leave any questions or comments below. I'm going to try to answer you as accurately as possible. I kind of just eyeballed it for the most part, and I will link that video below that inspired me to make this doorway mini album. So thank you so much for joining me, darlings, each and every video. God bless. Bye.